money to provide ratepayer relief?
I think in the long run, if we're going to do things like electric charging stations, that's an obligation of the state. If we're going to create welfare programs, that's an obligation of the state. To suggest that residents could pay other people's electric bills isn't fair to those individuals. So if we want to do these kind of social programs and environmental programs, they should be funded through the general fund, not being hidden into people's electric bills.
What was passed here?
You want to see on these programs so that it doesn't become politicized?
So I think, the way it got politicized is there's actually transparency put into the electric bill. So people can now see what they're actually being charged. For years, the Democrats like to hide those fees in people's bills, and they never realized what they were. Now that they know the gig is up, it needs to be restructured. And what I would say is the legislature should be voting on these programs and understanding the cost of these programs rather than approving the program and then letting Pura approve the cost.
So what should have been done with that public benefits charge instead of passing or bonding? What should have been done?
There is a piece in the bill which is we are going to be vetting all of these programs that are under the public benefits charge. So I think going forward, we are going to attempt to eliminate some of these programs that we don't believe should be paid for an electric bill. So that piece of the bill I think is laudable. But what's frustrating to me is before we even start that vetting process, Pura is already trying to tack more on. That doesn't make any sense.
What is your understanding of the EV charging stations for light and heavyweight trucks? Is that what was passed here today?
Yeah, so we have a governor who hasn't yet committed or implemented the mandates that are on those in the bill that's requiring electric trucks. At the same time, you have California in litigation that ironically the state of Connecticut has not joined them in that litigation. So on the one hand, they're saying we don't want to move forward and join California in electrifying everything, but then on the back end, we're going to spend money on charging stations that might not ever implement the mandates. So there needs to be a reckoning. Our governor has to show leadership on this. If we are going to pull away from California, which I think we should, then we need to formally do that, and then we won't be funding all of these charging stations. But if you talk to the trucking industry, everyone knows the technology is not there. You are not going to be able to put tons of batteries on freight lines and expect them also to move product in and out of the state of Connecticut. It's just not going to happen.
So we should wait?
Absolutely, until the technology gets there. But we shouldn't be spending money in a black hole. These programs aren't implemented anywhere in the country. California has tried it, they've had to postpone it, and now they're in litigation over it. So why we're spending money on something that is demonstrating it is a failure is beyond me. But also, the Democrats and the governor recognize that because they don't want to talk about it. We have these truck mandates on the books, but no one's enforcing it because they don't want to have the courage to have the discussion that sometimes environmental programs don't work, but they're too busy catering to the extreme environmentalists in the state of Connecticut rather than being honest about these programs.
On the issue of electric, I just want to say, I think Republicans over and over have said the only thing we should be paying, ratepayers, the only thing we should be paying is electricity. We should not be paying for all these other charges that are built in. And that fourth column, that orange column, highlights everything extra on that bill that ratepayers should not be paying. In the same way, when you go to renew your car and you get your car registration, you're paying to use the parks. Why? It's a hidden tax. It shouldn't be on there. It should be legislated up here and approved on by the General Assembly. The people that are voted on in each district, like mine, those are the people that should be approving those programs, not in the form of a hidden tax.
So you like then what's happening here today, that by putting it on to all taxpayers, not just ratepayers?
Well, I don't think we have a choice. I don't think we have a choice at this point. We're bonding some of it, which is fine, but going forward, as the minority leader said, there should be more scrutiny over these programs.
When these programs are voted on, there is never dollars attached to it. It always says there'll be no cost to the general fund because government only looks at the lens of how it affects government. They don't look at how it affects ratepayers. So programs are voted on, put in place, and then you have Pura, which implements them and adds all the costs to the programs. So we don't believe that's a good way to be doing things. If you're going to support a program, you need to know how much it's going to cost up front.